Hey guys, welcome to Monday Club. I'm Gus Davis.
I'm Peter Bois.
TGIM. That's right. Forget Friday, forget Saturday, forget Sunday. It is Monday. Monday is the new weekend, and we are here to party it up with you. Welcome to the Monday Club.
Oh, hell yeah, it's Monday. Welcome to Monday Club. Hello, we are the saviors of Monday. My name is Peter Bois. I'm here with my buddy Gus Davis. Welcome to this week's Monday Club. In this week's, we cheers to free Willies. Someone wins a free drink from us. This is the spooky Halloween episode because Halloween is tomorrow, but you're listening to this a week later. Dirty Little Football Quiz continues. I have a restless seatmate on a flight. Gus plays bottle caps. And, of course, Teachable Moments. Welcome to Monday Club. Hey,
Cheers!
it's Monday! Cheers, my good man!
What's up, my man? Oh, dude.
Hey, I am in Tennessee talking to you from a Comfort Inn that has better frickin' internet than my house.
Isn't it weird recording from a hotel?
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like people are going to hear me, so I'm trying to keep my voice down, and then I have to remind myself to talk at a normal voice because I don't want to bother the people in the room next to me.
Oh, dude, dude, come on. That's the least of the problems that the people at the hotel are going to have with you in that room.
Usually they're listening to squeaky beds.
Squeaky beds and headboards, baby. Squeaky beds and headboards.
Yeah.
Dude, you look like you are feeling a lot better today than the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, my sinus infection is almost gone. I'm feeling 99% awesome, and I just got a little bit of congestion left, but it is not a constant faucet of snot coming out of my nose anymore. It's at a drip level now, so
you can deal with drips. Drips are fine. It's the faucet that it really gets to be the problem. You know?
Yeah. Drips are okay. That post nasal drip, every once in a while, I'll get into a slight dry coughing fit. But yeah, I'm feeling much better. Well, I'm feeling like Monday Club's back to health, man.
That's good, man. Because on our Monday Club video game, our health was pretty low. We needed to eat some hearts or some mushrooms, or eat a pizza or something. Because woo, yeah.
Our bar is almost full.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. Well, dude, I'm so glad you're feeling better. And everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to Monday Club.
Yeah, cheers. We are cheersing to free Willies.
So I've stopped asking. I just looked at the clip, like the link to this clip that we're gonna watch, and it said Reddit on there, and I was like, oh, I guess that was me.
You sent me this in Facebook Messenger, and I turned it on. I was like, what the hell is this? There's just a couple of Asian dudes sitting in a wave pool with a million inflatable whales behind them that look like Free Willy.
Yeah, it's like all of these inflatable orcas that are just sitting behind them, and it's a giant wave pool. I don't know where this thing is, but it's a big wave pool. And so, Monday Clubbers, obviously, we're going to link this video onto this episode of Monday Club. But here's the funny thing for me, is these guys' faces. Like, they clearly know what's about to happen, and they just have this stoic, accepting face on as they stare into the camera. And from the very back of the film, you can see the waves start to come, and it just gets closer and closer. And as it gets right behind these guys, what do you say, 100?
Oh my, at least. It looks a plethora. How much is a plethora?
It's at least a metric shit ton of these whales come just attacking these guys, and you just see the camera and the guys just get the crap kicked out of them as they go rolling away with the waves. It's hilarious. It really is funny.
Yeah, the attack of the killer whales. It's literally a wall of whales.
It is. It's a wall of whales and human beings coming flying at these guys.
So would you call this really a whaling wall?
Genius.
The Wailing Wall of Free Willies. We can turn this into a tongue twister somehow. The Wailing Wall of Free Willies wipes out the guys.
You did it. It's a wipeout of the Wailing Wall of Free Willies. Anyway, guys, cheers to you for having the wherewithal to just hold your camera on your faces and just accept your fate as the Wailing Wall of Free Willies was attacking you from the back. So raise your glasses high, people. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm drinking. This is not my fault. I'm in a Comfort Inn. I'm drinking green tea. I went down and looked at their bar selection, but there was nothing. Apparently, they don't serve alcohol in Comfort Inns. So
there's not a mini bar or anything.
No, there wasn't.
Oh, that's all right.
I should have packed a little nip of Jack or something. That would have been.
You know,
smart.
when James and I are on the road together, he has a metal thermos that has Jameson in it, and it's our in case of emergency stash. Because so many times while we were out on the road and we had a long drive and we just wanted to kick it and have some drinks, we would end up that wherever we stayed happened to be a dry county, and we would get angry. So he always travels with a thermos of Jameson, and it's come in more handy than I can possibly tell you. Also, Monday Clubbers, I should say that because Pete is in a hotel, we had to change our normally scheduled recording time to like 8:30 in the morning. So I don't blame you actually for having hot tea at like 8:30 in the morning in Tennessee, man.
I was rushing this morning at breakfast looking for alcohol. I just want to say that. I was right next to the waffles in the breakfast station. Oh, they have pretty good breakfast here. I was looking for the nips, and I just could not find the breakfast bar of.
Did you ask? Because asking at 8:30 in the morning if hey man, do you guys have some alcohol here?
I should have asked one of the workers. I bet they have a flask hidden in there.
They have some coping sauce somewhere. Yeah. Oh, dude, so before I tell you what I'm drinking, does the Comfort Inn have one of those pancake making machines?
Oh, they have the waffle one.
Yeah, the waffle machines are good, but the pancake machines are incredible. Have you seen those things?
No.
So it's the same concept as the waffle machine where you pour your own batter into it, but you pour in like a dollop of you either pour in or push a button. I've seen two different kinds. And a little dollop of batter goes onto this conveyor belt. And then it's like something out of Dr. Seuss, man. Like it just travels down the conveyor belt, and then it flips itself over and travels back down the conveyor belt and then plops out of the bottom slot, and you have a fully cooked pancake in like a minute and a half. It's genius.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I want one for my house.
Oh, no joke, man. I would like never leave.
A Rube Goldberg style pancake.
yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so this morning I've had an incredibly long week on the road and at conferences and stuff like that. So today, in true Monday Club fashion, is my actual one and only day off this week. So at 8:37 in the morning, I'm drinking myself a good old-fashioned Moscow Mule. I've got the copper mug, I've got the ginger beer, I've got the Deep Eddy vodka, and I've got the smile on my face.
Nice. Thanks for drinking for the both of us this morning. I'm very jealous.
I can tell anyone who's like judging me right now. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm drinking for two.
I actually don't have today off. I have a show tonight, the Rare Monday show. Yeah. So
it's the season for you, man. Like I'm glad that you're out there doing your thing for this holiday season for the old Halloweens.
Yeah, Halloween. Because today is the spooky Halloween episode. We'll talk about Halloween in a minute. But thank you guys so much for being part of Monday Club. We love you. Thank you so much for listening and being part of the show. Make sure you check us out on iTunes. Give us a little love and rating up there and review so other people can read that and be inspired to join the club. Also, tell a friend or two about what we're doing. We'd love to grow the club with friends of friends. So, thanks again for listening. And again, MondayClubPodcast.com for all our social links, and email us anything you want. MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com.
That's also where you can buy us a free drink. I just want to make sure that that's out there as well.
Yeah, that's still out there. You can totally do that. You can PayPal us at email address too, and give us however much money it costs to buy the drink that you want us to drink on the next episode.
Yeah, that's a quick and easy way to not only get a shout-out, but get a fast track to the inner circle of Monday Club, where we teach you the secret Monday Club handshake.
Exactly. After we figure that out.
Yeah. We got to figure that out. But once we have it, man, you're the first on the email list. Okay, so last week we had Monday Club superfan and all-around awesome guy, Mr. Rob Balchunas, win his second free drink for the Dirty Little Football Quiz.
Woo!
That deserves
Congrats, Rob!
And Rob sent in this statement on Facebook, which I'm going to read to everyone because it made both Pete and I laugh a lot. The secret word for last week was gremlins, and so his quote is this one: "The two gremlins were going at it when suddenly they were splashed with water, turning them into dark, wrinkly beasts like two octogenarians, which made me realize that I wanted a free drink."
That's awesome, but what the hell is an octogenarian?
I believe that's old people.
Really?
Yeah.
Rob,
yeah.
You have an amazing vocabulary.
Yeah, that's a $5 word right there. You don't have to say octogenarians very often.
Octogenarians. That's a 6-syllable word. Who the hell has a 6-syllable word ready to go in their vocab? Rob,
oh my God!
Rob does.
Very rarely do I get to see somebody clap out the syllables, but that's exactly what Pete did. Yeah, that was great. Anyway, Rob, you made us laugh. You used the secret word, and you said that you wanted a free drink, so you got it. Follow up to that, though, Rob donated his free drink to another listener, to Tristan Burkholder. Tristan happened to be in Austin a few days ago and stopped by the house and got a double Scotch whiskey at my house while we caught up. So it was a Monday Club meetup. We made good on all of our free drinks that were supposed to be given out, and we got to do some day drinking with our friend Tristan. So everybody wins. Everybody wins on Monday Club.
Yeah. Congratulations. Day drinking, that's weird. Normally it's morning, afternoon, and night drinking.
Yeah, but and you know what's actually really funny about that is it happened to be that was one of my few days in the office, but I was trying to just grind it out doing some computer programming for one of the new shows that we have going up. And I was just slammed, man. I had like this very small window to get that done. And she was like, "Hey, I'm in town, and today's the only day that'll work." And I was like, "Oh God, well, I'd love to meet up, but I just don't have time to go out and go to meet you at lunch or anything like that." And finally, I was like, "Well, dude, just come over to the house. You know, we can hang out. I have some day-old pizza that we can share and some free drinks, and you can. I'll set a timer. You guys can be here for just an hour, and we'll just hang out." So it was great. It was nice. A fun little meeting, and it actually was legit day drinking in the middle of me trying to program my my new software. So anyway, Tristan and Rob, thanks so much for listening. You guys are awesome, and of course, thank you all for listening and enjoying Monday Club.
Yeah, you mentioned pizza. Last night, I got to my hotel. I had yesterday was just a travel day. I got to my hotel last night, and all I could think of was ordering Papa John's and watching Stranger Things until I passed out. And so I ordered a medium Papa John's pizza, and then the guy on the phone convinced me to get one of those cinnamon bun pull-aparts. You ever get one of those?
Oh, my God, yeah.
So I'm sitting... I'm watching Stranger Things, and I eat 80% of a medium pizza, right? 80%. I don't know how many calories that is, but that's 80% of a metric shit ton of calories.
Right.
All of the garlic buttery sauce, which is amazing. And
it is amazing.
Then I ate 90% of this cinnamon pull-apart thing. I couldn't stop myself. I just kept pulling little pieces off and shoving them into my mouth. It was ridiculous, the amount of food I ate last night. And I feel fine this morning. It's wonderful.
Yeah, my stomach doesn't hurt. I have this weird sense of regret at the pit of my soul, but my stomach doesn't hurt. Man, I've gotten a little bit better at it, but I used to order pizza almost every night that I was on the road by myself because for a while I was just having a hard time just going out by myself and just eating on the road like for dinner. I don't know if that makes sense, but like going to like an Italian food place and people are like, "Well, how many tonight?" And I'm just like, 1.
You have to say it with pride. 1.
Yeah. 1.
Yes,
that's
I
right.
would like your
Just
best
me.
table and a best bottle of wine.
That's right. Anyway, so I used to order pizza a lot, and while I would order pizza, I mean, they don't make just like a pizza for a solo one person, right? Like, you can't just order half a pizza, so you'd order a pizza, and it would show up, plus the Cinesticks and the garlic bread, and usually like a one of those 2-liter things of soda, right? And it's like they're bringing enough food for a Super Bowl party to your hotel, and you do, man. You eat like maybe half of it, maybe, you know? And then the rest of it, you're just like, oh, I mean, I guess I could travel with a bunch of cold pizza getting soggy garlic sauce all over my rental car, but I guess I'll just leave it here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a food tip for housekeeping.
If you were
That's
a
awful.
housekeeper, would you eat any leftover pizza that was just left over there?
Personally, I would not, but I'm sure it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens too.
Actually, I can't say that for certain because I used to work in a restaurant, and I wouldn't eat things off of people's personal plates, but like hors d'oeuvres would come back. You know, the hors d'oeuvre plates or pass-arounds, and I might snack off that every once in a while.
Yeah, but I think that's different because that's like, you know that it went straight from the kitchen to someone's like out into the restaurant and then back. Hotels are nasty, man. Like, just nasty. Like, I don't trust anything in a hotel. I don't even trust the ice. I don't use ice buckets at hotels because I don't know what's happened in those ice buckets. I know I've thrown up in an ice bucket. I know that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's...
You guys use the ice condom that
careful.
comes with ice buckets. Always put that plastic thing in there because ice buckets could be nasty.
Use your
That's a
ice
public
bucket
service.
condom.
That's right. Public service announcement from Monday Club.
Hey, guess what, Gus?
What, man?
It's Halloween tomorrow.
It is Halloween tomorrow, man.
is one of my favorite holidays, although I'm usually working or out on the road, so I never really get to celebrate the way I want to. But you guys, we're recording this Monday earlier, so you're listening to this a week after Monday. You're over the hump of awesomeness of Halloween. And so I'm doing my ghost show tonight at a college, and I get to fly home tomorrow and do trick-or-treating with my kid, then back out for another show. But I wanted to ask you, do you dress up for Halloween? Are you...
Well, so, like you, man, I'm usually working on Halloween, and it sucks because Halloween is one of my favorite times. I love going to the downtown spots and just watching everybody, all the adults in their Halloween costumes, and or being out with my kid and trick-or-treating and playing that role where you're walking around and they're running up to people's houses and it's all cute and stuff like that. When I was in college, I think my sophomore, junior, and senior year of college, I wore the same costume every single year. It was my favorite freaking costume of all time. I got it for like $10 at a Goodwill, but I got this cow costume. It was like a full on cow costume with like the arms, and it had like the cow nipples and like the, what are those things? Not cow nipples.
Udders.
Udders. It had udders, and the udders were strategically placed right over your junk, and it went down.
Was one of them a sheath?
maybe. No, but it was still cool. And then it had these little hoof things that you could put onto your shoes, so that was cool. And then I also found these Velcro horns that just had like the hook ends of the Velcro, and you would just like rub them on your head, and they would just Velcro straight onto your hair. And so that worked perfectly too. And so yeah, I had like horns and udders, and I was a goddamn cow. And I would walk around downtown and get drinks and have people play with my udders. It was great. It was like the best costume ever.
Would just people walk up to you and grab an udder?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
or
That you should have made one into a sheath. It could be. It could be find the real udder.
Oh my god, that sounds like something that Quagmire off of Family Guy would do.
Giggity. Oh man, I haven't dressed up in a while. Normally, I would dress up and have nowhere to go. It's like, oh, I'm too old to trick or treat, and I'm just gonna be sitting around my house in a $100 costume that I.
But do y'all have kids that come and trick or treat at your house?
No, we're on a dead end small road, so that's out in the middle of nowhere. We have neighbors, but there's only they're all older people.
Yeah. I think that trick-or-treating is still one of the great American pastimes. Like, the idea that neighborhoods just kind of get together and it's just unspoken that it's for the kids and everybody's safe, and it's cool to see all the kids wandering around in the neighborhood and dressed up and knocking on your door. And for a while, we lived in this neighborhood that was super kid-friendly, and it was just really neat to every year for like 3 or 4 years, we'd see the same kids coming by in their new costumes and see their parents. And it's like the only time the neighborhood got a chance to sort of see each other and see the kids and see them grow and stuff like that. So yeah, I love Halloween. I love that idea.
That's awesome. Our community is very kid-friendly. There's a road that Summer Street, I believe, that we will be trick-or-treating on tomorrow. That is insane. This is like the rich street, right? This is where the big, old, awesome houses are, and they go all out. They decorate their lawns. They have little haunted houses in their garages. They have full-size candy bars. They have everything, and that's where you go. And they shut down the entire road. You can't even drive on it, and it's just a sea of kids and parents and costumes and candy and fog machines and ghosts and goblins everywhere you look walking down this road.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, this is the place to go. And they actually have, which is cool, a candy drive. So maybe some people don't have the money to spend $1,000 on candy to give out,
right?
So they collect candy and they distribute it to people who want to be part of it but don't want to buy all the candy. And
man, when I was a kid, there was the neighborhood that I went trick or treating in. Basically, my entire childhood trick or treating career. There was one house on that neighborhood that always gave out licorice, which, screw those guys. No one wants licorice. That's just, you're a terrible, terrible person for giving out licorice.
Slightly better than pennies.
Slightly better than pennies. Slightly. Maybe not, because at least pennies you feel like you're getting something. Licorice is going to go directly in the trash can. But on that same note, there was another house that gave away $1 bills to every kid that came to the house.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad their stocks were doing well. I was like, because it was a busy neighborhood. I mean, I'm sure they gave out $300 to $500 every Halloween. But
wow,
everyone loved them. I mean, that's the house.
Yeah, that is the house. That's better than full-size candy bars. Damn.
Yeah, it is. What was the candy that you just got like super stoked when you got it as a kid?
Oh man, pretty much anything chocolate. Three Musketeers, Reese's, Twix, Kit Kats, those M&Ms. Those are the core candies that I would.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, that's the Trinity. Those are like the holy grail of Halloween candy.
Anything that was sugar oriented, I traded away for chocolate. Anything. I wanted chocolate. I did not want Skittles. I did not want Skittles and Starburst were the only ones that might keep a couple in my bag. But I would usually trade anything else, any other sugary candy away for for chocolate. And
for me, I'm with you. I think I followed pretty much that same tenet, except with my caveats were nerds, because I never got nerds any other time of the year, but Halloween, those little micro packages of nerds were awesome.
Yeah, nerds, I'll put that on the exception. I would always keep nerds,
Yeah, and candy corn, which I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with candy corn. I taste candy corn, and I'm immediately transported back to Halloween nights. Like, I love candy corn.
I have a hate relationship with candy corn. I don't even think they're candy. Well, that's the
end of Monday Club, guys, so thank you all so much for tuning in.
How do you like candy corn? They taste like nothing, and they get stuck in your teeth.
Yes?
Yeah, there's nothing to like about candy corn, Gus.
Except for it's the best.
Just because you have a sentimental memory pegged to your candy corn.
Monday Clubbers, you guys are listening to this the week right after Halloween, so let's do this. We need a vote. Team Gus, pro candy corn. Team Pete, that you hate America and you're against candy corn. That's the vote this week on our Facebook page.
America's about greatness, okay? And greatness equals Three Musketeers.
Candy corn. Yeah. No, the candy Native Americans came to the candy Plymouth Rock people for Thanksgiving and brought them candy corn, and that's why we celebrate Thanksgiving.
They don't even look like corn kernels. They're like teepees of corn.
Yeah, teepees of greatness, of friendship between the Candy Indians and the Plymouth Rock people.
I equate candy corn to Tootsie Rolls. It's fake candy.
What?
Tootsie Rolls are fake chocolate. They're gross. They stick in your teeth. They don't have any real chocolate taste. Those are the candy corn and Tootsie Rolls traded away. But the problem is you'd have to trade 100 of them to just get maybe a fun size Three Musketeers.
Dude, I'm learning a lot about you. Tootsie Rolls are amazing. Candy corn is amazing. Just because it's brown doesn't mean it's chocolate. It's a Tootsie Roll. It's a roll of Tootsie.
What is Tootsie? It's fake chocolate. It's supposed to be chocolate. It is not chocolate. I am disappointed when I expect chocolate and I chew and chew and chew just to get fake chocolate.
Yeah, well, I think that's your problem, man. Don't be disappointed. Don't hate the candy, hate the game, man. Don't hate the candy, hate the game.
Okay, just so we're clear. Candy corn and Tootsie Rolls suck.
Okay, look, this is pissing me off, dude, because both candy corn and Tootsie Rolls are delicious.
I can't believe you like both those.
Yeah, they're great. Okay, so switching gears a little bit, going forward in my life, I had gotten out of the.
I still want to argue over candy, Gus.
I know. We'll go.
I do want to argue over candy, but for you should probably move forward.
I'd gotten over my cow costume. I'd retired it. I'd had 3 great years of wearing my Lavaca the cow costume. We were at one of our first apartments. It was a giant quad duplex looking apartment thing, and it was basically we had our own frat house, man. I was living with 4 of my favorite guy friends. Lots of shenanigans ensued in that house. But while we were there, it was Halloween time, and I remember we had candy, and we had the lights on, and we decorated as guys do with beer cans and stuff like that. Anyway, early on in the evening, these middle school kids with no costumes just like skateboarded up to our house and knocked on our door and were like, hey, we want candy. Like, they didn't even say trick or treat. And I remember my roommate Adam was just like, oh, man, just keep him at the door. Keep him at the door. I was like, okay. So I was like, oh, yeah, guys, what kind of candy do you want? And they're like, oh, dude, we don't care, just candy. I was like, oh, okay, because we got this kind of candy here, and do you want this one, or do you want one? Or like, I just stalled as long as I could. And I hear my roommate like run out the back door, and he runs around the gate. And finally, I'd given him candy, and they turned around, and he had put a whole handful of baby powder into his hand and just slapped these kids with baby powder across the face. And he was like, next time bring a costume. And just slaps the shit out of some kids with baby powder. And, they get slapped with baby powder, a giant puff of powder goes flying up in the air. I die laughing. Anyway, they walk off. Next morning, surprise, surprise, our cars are egged. Like, there's egg all over our cars. And we both looked at each other and we were like, yeah, it's totally worth it. I mean, that's fair retaliation for getting slapped with baby powder.
Did any paint come off?
Oh, yeah. But, we had old cars. It didn't matter. Like, both of us had just old, crappy cars. It was fair. It was fine.
That's hilarious. Do you remember the last time you went trick-or-treating for yourself? Because I remember distinctly the last time I went trick-or-treating, and it was a sad day because I realized that I was too old to be trick-or-treating.
No, man. I don't remember mine.
I must have been early. I must have been 13, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but it was close to, if not early teenage years. And I remember going as a hobo, and I had this old man's face and just flannel on, and I looked like a hobo. And I went with my cousin Nick, and we were walking down the road, and a cop pulled up to us. A cop pulls over, and he's like, "Hey, you guys, okay?" And he starts talking to us like we're like some hooligans or something, and we're just talking and whatnot. And that is the moment I realized maybe I'm getting too old for this.
Oh, that's sad, man. That's sad. Like, that's one of those great childhood memories where you are so existentially aware of, I guess I'm getting older, like maybe too old to do this. So, yeah. I had that when I was a kid. I was playing in the backyard, and I remember as a kid, I was an only child, so I was in my backyard, and I had a golf club that the head of the golf club had broken off, which, for the record, if any of you want a really cool stand-in for a lightsaber, there you go, man, because you've got the golf grip right there and then just the metal sword thing, and it was great. Anyway, I was out in the backyard doing ninja stuff with this golf club, and I remember that my next-door neighbors were outside, they're grown people, but my mom's next-door neighbors were outside, and they were doing something, and they looked over at me and they were like, "Oh, hey, you just having fun back there, just all by yourself?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fighting ninja." Oh God, I'm too old. I'm gonna go inside and watch TV.
It's so sad though, because you want to maintain your, that's when your like childhood innocence gets stripped away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
like,
so
I
Pete,
still want to play.
Yeah, so next year, we got to keep doing Monday Club for at least a year to next Halloween, because I want to save this story for a later date, but I want to tell you about the time I went to school naked.
You're just going to headline that and leave it there?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. I went to school naked for Halloween one time, and I didn't know it, so I'll tell you that story. Yeah, I'll tell you that story next Halloween, buddy.
Gus, on behalf of all of Monday Club, I am giving you the collective double middle fingers right now, because
no, you gotta wait.
That
gotta wait.
Is it? That sounds better than Batman Gets a Boner Story.
Well, that's why we got to hold on to some of them, man.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for that story. So guess what? Last night, yesterday, the Patriots won.
Woo!
Yes. They beat the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, 21-13 in a nail-biter. I was flying during most of the game, so I was getting updates via Dish on the NFL channel. And when I landed, here's a great thing. If you have Verizon, you can download the Verizon NFL app, and you can watch live games streaming to your phone. It's amazing. So I put my phone streaming, and I was in baggage claim watching the fourth quarter. I got my bags, and I'm rolling my bags to the rental car watching this game, and then I just stood outside of my rental car watching this game on my phone, screaming in the middle of a rental car garage at my phone. And I got to see the final minutes of the game, and they pulled it out. There was a couple missed field goals by the Patriots, and so I think Steven Gostowski, their field goal kicker, used to be rock solid. He was the guy. He was better, just as good as Adam Vinatieri was, their old kicker. And I don't know what's happening this last year. He's been missing left and right, literally He missed left and he missed right yesterday, and so it kind of sucks. I think he needs to get his shit together, or they need to find a new kicker because he's going to lose some games eventually. So yeah, Patriots win 21-13. Go Pats! They're 6-2.
All right, man. It sounds like they had a rough start, but they're starting to kind of get their crap together.
Yeah, definitely. The offense is really coming together, but really it was the defense that just needed to figure shit out, and they're getting it. They're holding teams. The last few games they've held teams to under 20 points, and usually Patriots have an amazing offense. They can always score more than 20 points in a game. So if the defense can hold the opposing team to less than 20 points, usually they can pull it off.
He said pull it off, which is a great way to segue out to. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our dirty little football quiz. So here's the deal. We realize that a lot of you listening aren't necessarily football fans. However, we want to encourage our good friend Pete and his forever undying love of the Patriots. So in order to kind of bridge the gap between love of football and complete and total ignorance of sports ball, we have decided to put together our little dirty little football quiz. Here's how it works. While talking about football, I realized that a lot of the words and phrases used in football are the same words and phrases used in erotic fiction. So I'm going to read 3 quotes of erotic fiction to Pete. His job is to identify the word that is a football word, to define that word, and then to replace that word in the sentence. If he can do that 2 out of 3 times, we are going to buy one of you a free drink. And since it's going to be the Halloween episode, the word is pumpkin. The first person that gets on Facebook says pumpkin and the phrase, I need a free drink, all in an erotic sentence of their own, is going to get a free drink from us here at Monday Club. So, Pete, you ready to play?
Yes, I'm going to work real hard to earn you guys another drink.
All right. Well, so far you're perfect at this game. I got to say, for this week's episode, sometimes when I'm doing research for this, it takes a long time to find the words. For this week's episode, all of these come from the same story. And I think I was able to get these 3 sentences done in maybe 15 minutes tops. So here we go, my man. Also, just a parental guidance warning. These just happen to be getting dirtier and dirtier for our dirty little football quiz. So here we go. God damn it. My gaze wanders back to the magazine, but my mind meanders over his knee and wonders idly what kind of spanking he'd deliver.
You just said spanking.
I did.
I would love spanking to be part of football. That would be that would make football
There's
that
no
much
spanking
better.
in football.
I am going with knee though.
Knee is correct.
Yes, the quarterback. Yeah, I love that ding. It makes me feel so good inside. Knee. So the quarterback can take a knee, and that is basically surrendering himself. So he hikes the ball, he gets the ball, and he can take a knee, and that is surrendering himself, meaning he's down, and the clock continues to run. Usually that's done at the end of a game to waste the final seconds of the clock if you're ahead.
Correct. All right, so the actual definition, as according to football.com, taking a knee, the genuflect offense or the victory formation occurs when the quarterback immediately kneels on the ground, ending the play on contact after receiving the snap, which is basically what you just said. So kudos, man. All right, can you use it in the sentence?
My gaze wanders back to the magazine, but my mind meanders over his genuflecting with the football to run out the clock at the end of the game and wonders idly what kind of spanking he'd deliver.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that was great!
I like the word genuflecting. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Very
or the
nice.
victory pose. Yeah. All right. 1 for 3. Here we go. Next one. All right. They'd feel wonderful brushing over my ass once he'd smacked it to a nice glowing red zone of pleasure.
Oh, this one's easy. Red zone.
Red zone is
Red
correct.
zone. Red zone is the 20 yards leading to your end zone. That is the red zone because you're in very close scoring distance.
That's correct, my friend. The red zone is the area of the field between the 20-yard line and the goal line.
Boom.
Boom.
All right. I get to say brushing over my ass now in a sultry
Yeah, you
voice.
do. Uh-huh.
They'd feel wonderful brushing over my ass. Once he'd smacked it to a nice glowing 20 yards out from the end zone, about to score of pleasure. Why can I never remember the definitions?
Oh, my God. Oh, it's so funny. It's totally worth buying a free drink for anyone to read these. All right, so here we go. Your last one to be perfect again this week is this one. Yes, I do. What? Wait, I'm going to try it again. Yes, I do, I whisper, fumbling into his shorts and curling my hand around the shaft, stroking it.
Whoa. That's pretty descriptive. Well, fumbling has to be the word.
That's correct.
Fumbling the shaft. All right. Fumbling is when the team loses possession of the football in the field of play, and it becomes a 50-50 ball. Anyone can pick it up, and it becomes their ball.
That is correct. A fumble is when a player drops the football. The ball is available for any other player to gain possession for his team. That is a correct answer, my friend. Okay, last one. Use it in a sentence.
Yes, I do, I whisper, dropping the ball in the field of play that anyone can pick up into his shorts and curling my hand around the shaft, stroking it. Man, I'm turning myself on. This is great. Man, you know what would be the best?
What?
Watching football and having sex at the same time. Is that like food and sex?
You're like Icarus, man. You'd be flying real close to the sun on that one, buddy.
Okay, pizza, football, and sex. The trifecta of pleasure. Oh, and pull apart cinnamon buns.
Dude, and if that were the case, then it would be really awkward when, when the football game lined up with sex, and you just finish and you hear it's good.
That would be so awesome. Touchdown! He scores! Touchdown! Oh my God, it's hard enough to time that with your partner,
Yeah.
Timing that with a football game, that's a new life goal.
All right, man. Well, we all wish Pete real good luck.
I will keep you posted.
All right, please do, my friend. Please do. All right, well, y'all know the deal out there. Pete got all three correct, which means that one of you is getting a free drink. Don't forget the phrase that pays, which is pumpkin, and I need a free drink while writing your own erotic sentence on our Facebook page. Do that. We will buy you a drink. You're always welcome to donate it to one of us on the old Monday Club crew, or you can also, of course, drink it yourself. Send a picture of you drinking it, and we'll post that too. So, good job, Pete, man. That was a good episode of that one.
Thanks. You're welcome, Monday Clubbers. Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road. So, I've been on the road all week. I haven't been home in a week. I started out on Wednesday in North Carolina, and this has got to be the best use for social media. I post, hey, flying to North Carolina for a show, and friend of the show, CJ Johnson, texts me, hey, you flying into RDU? And I was like, yeah, are you? He's like, yeah. He's like, want to meet up for lunch? I was like, yeah. So we met in Raleigh, North Carolina, and had lunch, also with one of his other friends, longtime friends. And so it was awesome. That is the best use for social media, connecting with friends who are traveling or even who aren't traveling, people who live there, and meeting up for an actual social call, not just a social media call. So that was awesome.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. That's super, super cool. I was so jealous of that picture of you and CJ. Like, I just saw that on Facebook. I was like, what? What?
You know what's
How are
weird?
you guys hanging out?
You know what's weird? He before he took that, he's like, "Let's make Gus jealous." And
yeah, that dude knows me pretty well.
The next day, I flew to Dallas, did a show. Then I flew to Iowa. Oh, and my show in Dallas was for the Texas Women's University, and they did it up right. I was doing Summoning Spirits there, and they got into it. They were awesome. We did the show in Hubbard Hall, which is an old haunted hall on campus, and it was about to be renovated, so it was changing the look. And it was this old creepy building, and when people came into the building, they checked them in, and they had a dark hallway that they would bring people into this waiting room. So they had a lantern, and they would bring people in small groups to this hallway, and along the way they would have creepy things set up, lights flashing, and a creepy mannequin in the hallway. And
that's cool.
Yeah, so it really got people in the mood to be scared and have a good time. And so people just waited in the waiting room outside of the show, and then they let them all in at once. And they even had one of the student activities people dressed up as Virginia Carpenter, the person that is supposedly haunting Hubbard Hall. And the story goes that she disappeared, and her remains are actually buried underneath Hubbard Hall. And so when they dig up Hubbard Hall in the renovations, if they find something down there, that would be crazy.
That's cool, man. Like, dude, that makes your show so much easier, right? Like, everyone is already, like, a little bit freaked out. And so there's, like, that cool, like, extra tension that's already there before you even start.
Oh yeah, there was this electric energy. Before the show even started, people were ready. You know, it's like they're waiting outside of a haunted house, and the pigman comes up to them to scare them. You know, it's getting them in the mood. So that show was, you know, completely off the chains. They were scared, and it was pretty incredible, and it was really all thanks to them because they really set up the scene very well.
Dude, not to be weird at all about it, but do you think you could add that to your show, like for next year? Like have a 15-minute pre-show ghost story segment, and so like while people are sitting down and getting ready, they're watching ghost stories that are sort of already spooking them out a little bit, and then when you start, like you've already set the scene. It's like the Disney mantra of when you're waiting in line at a ride at Disney, like, and you're waiting in line for 2.5 hours because Disney is way too overcrowded. But while you're walking up, there's all these things that you're walking past that are interesting that already get you in the mood. So 80% of the ride is the lead up to the ride, and the ride is just like the fun part, the icing on the cake.
That's a great idea, Gus. I am going to send you a check for. Great idea in the memo.
Look, man, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I think that'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I mean, with creepy music and unexplained ghost stories and stuff that just creeps people out. And so, yeah, like then it goes to your static screen for 5 minutes before you go on, and then you go on, and now everybody's already scared and ready to pee.
That's a great idea. All right, I'm going to do that for next year.
Good deal. All right. Pete's show just got revamped right here on Monday Club. You heard it first.
Thanks, Gus.
You're welcome, man.
Then I was in Iowa, and then I went to Minnesota, and then I went to Milwaukee, and then I went to Tennessee, and that's where I am now. And so you've complained about seatmates on your flights. On one of these flights, I can't remember where I was going. So I'm going to describe two different people. One person, terrible seatmate. One person, nice seatmate. And see which one you want to be.
All right.
Okay. The first, I get my window seat, and then some woman comes down and sits in the middle seat. Fine, whatever. And then she crosses her legs, and she bounces her left knee, the closest knee to me, at a terrible frequency. her knees just bouncing up and down constantly for the entire flight.
Nope.
Flight anxiety. I don't know. She should have taken an Ambien or something, but it was ridiculous. I posted a picture on my Instagram and Facebook, or a video, and it is crazy. It just happened. It was an hour-and-a-half flight, and it was crazy. It just pissed me off the entire time.
Yeah, I saw that video, and I just thought to myself, you poor bastard. Like, because there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to punch you in the goddamn face if you don't stop moving. I mean, you can't do that. It's going to add to their anxiety,
Yeah, they're like, oh, now I don't. Yeah. And, okay, and now fast forward to my flight yesterday. The woman in the middle seat, I had dropped my cell phone accidentally underneath my seat, and there's no way I can reach it. So I asked the people behind me, hey, do you see my cell phone? Would you mind trying to grab it? And the woman next to me is like putting her cell phone with her flashlight on, trying to look for it, and they're all helping me out. That was so nice of them, and they eventually, she found it, and she reached her hand down between the seats and pulled it out for me, and she was just super nice all around, and she helped me out. And I noticed on her flight she was drinking a little wine, and on my way out, before I left the plane, she was staying on to go on to LAX. I handed her 2 free drink coupons because Southwest sends them to me like crazy, and I don't really drink much on planes because I'm usually have to sleep or drive immediately following. And so let me just ask you that. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the nice person that is super nice and helps you find a phone and gets 2 free drink coupons, or the person that gets their anonymous video posted on Instagram of your leg shaking? You be the judge.
Which one? Which one? A or B? Which one looks better? A or B? Yeah, I saw your video of the leg shaker, and I felt so bad for you. It's funny you said about the free drink coupons. I had that. I gave away some of my free drink coupons as well on a recent flight, and I didn't mean to. Here's what happened, man. I was on the flight. I ordered a drink. I couldn't find my drink coupons. They weren't in the normal place that I keep them. And so the flight attendant is like, well, how do you want to take care of this? I was like, let me find the drink coupon, and I'll just give me a second. He's like, cool. So he moves on to the row behind me. The row behind me are these 3 middle-aged women that are headed to Vegas to tear up Vegas and have a good time in Vegas, right? And so I find the extra pocket where sometimes I keep extra drink coupons, and I find it in there. And so they had just all ordered wine or beer or something like that, and I found my coupon, and I turned around and raised my hand sort of over the back of my seat to hand to the flight attendant. And all 3 ladies are like, woo, he's buying us free drinks! And then I was in this weird spot where I was like, yeah, sure. So I go back and get more drink coupons and hand it to him because I didn't want to be like, oh, no. Sorry, ladies. That one's for me.
That's hilarious. That's a great technique. I bet they use that at bars when a guy's holding up money to get bartenders' attention. It's like, oh, that guy's buying us drinks.
Yeah, it is. If it was a scam, they pulled it off perfectly. But you know how it is, man. Like I'm like you. I end up getting so many free drink coupons that some of them expire. Like I just never have a chance to use them. So I'm happy to buy you a free drink. See me on a plane. I'll get you a free drink.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, yeah. I'm sorry you had a leg shaker. That is annoying. Let's see. This week has been nuts for me too. We had these. I'm going to say the single most busy convention that I've ever done in my entire career was this past weekend. We left Thursday and just got back late afternoon, early evening on Sunday. And it was Kim, CJ, James, and I. We went to this conference. And basically we went to this conference like we were going to do everything at this conference. I did 2 showcases, so I showcased 2 different game shows, and then we showcased 17 different novelties.
Holy crap.
At this thing. Yeah, we did inflatables, we did our sublimation things, we did our green screen photos, we set up our mini golf course, we set up our pucker powder station, we set up like everything that we do, brought to this thing.
What the hell's pucker powder?
We have a machine that you make your own. What's that called? You make your own pixie stick, so it has like a tube, and you can mix your own mixture of powder. Which, side note, man, if you ever want to just get crunk, that's just pure sugar. It's pure sugar in a stick. And so you take one of those and you are good to go for a little while.
You ever snort one of those?
Oh, dude, I stay away from the pucker powder, man. You don't get high on your own supply. Like that's like sugar rules number one, man.
Spoken like a true dealer.
That's right. Anyway, man, we did everything at this conference, and it was a good conference for us, but oh my holy bejesus. I'm going to finish this Moscow Mule, and then I'm going to book a massage later on today, because my whole body is just wrecked from this thing. Anyway, so we did this conference, and then... when you're at a conference, you and I know this from when you and I see each other at some of these conferences that we go to, you work hard and you also play really hard, right? Like, that's where you get some really good drinking in. Anyway, Kim and I were they had the RV out at this conference, and so Kim and I started playing one of my favorite games. It's a game called Bottle Caps. Now, let me explain how Bottle Caps works, because I'm explaining this to all of our Monday Club audience. Bottle Caps is a game that we invented with Brian Brushwood, and it started off like this. We had a hard night of drinking the night before, and Brian and I were sitting on the couch in recovery mode the next day. We were probably sitting in our hotel room with sunglasses on, drinking water, and just being quiet. And all of a sudden, Brian just looks over at me and just throws a bottle cap at me and hits me in the face. And he's like, "Bottle caps, motherfucker." It's like, what? And then for the rest of the day, we were just like sneak attacking, throwing bottle caps at each other, just being like, "Bottle caps." That got migrated over a few years later to Kim and I being in a hotel, and we started, Fiki football, where you have the little triangle thing and you try to hit it off the table?
Yeah, you can flick it.
Well, we started playing Fiki football, but with a bottle cap. So the idea is the same. You get 4 hits to try to get it to the edge of the table before the cutoff of the table, before it falls off. And if you can do that, the other person takes a drink. Okay? But then we started making up all these weird Calvin and Hobbes rules. Like, okay, well, if you get it to the edge of the table and then you bounce it off of the table and into a shot glass in the middle of the table, then it's not a drink of beer, it's a shot of alcohol. And like making up all of these insane rules while we're playing. And the moment that it became a real game was somebody did something and they were like, "Oh, wait, no, you can't do that. That's against the rules." And at that moment, we were like, "Uh-oh. That's a real game." So anyway, we were in the RV and we were playing bottle caps and just making up rules. But like, once a rule's made up, you got to stick to it. And I was like, all right, well, here's the next level. All right, we put a shot glass in the middle, and we both had like 5 bottle caps. And we were like, all right, the first person to make 3 bottle caps into the shot glass by bouncing them off the table has to eat a bowl of Lucky Charms that instead of milk you use beer for.
Whoa.
And she's like, all right. So we do it, and I win. So Kim, to her credit, ate a bowl of Lucky Charms with Bud Light as the liquid. And we totally got that on film. So, Kim, thanks for being a champion. Just know that we're totally going to post that on Monday Club.
Yeah, that's a cheers to you, Kim. Holy crap. What? Did she like it? That's the question.
I think most people would just balk at the idea of Bud Light and Lucky Charms. But here's the deal. If you strain it, like you take a spoonful and you strain it, you just get sugary beer, and then it's Lucky Charms. You're welcome. Lucky Charms are delicious. So yeah, I don't think she had too hard of a time choking it down. And man, just again, kudos to you, Kim. That you're a champion for eating a bowl of Lucky Charms and Bud Light. I'll say the secret to a good dare out there, Monday Club, is you have to be willing to do the dare on your own. Like, I think a lot of people throw out dares that they're like, "Oh, that'd be super embarrassing if you had to do this." But then if they lose, they like try to get out of it. So whatever you throw out there as a dare, you have to be willing to just pony up and do on your own.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'm thinking that Lucky Charms might make a really great cocktail, some sort of mixed drink, a sugary.
Yeah, I bet
We should
I bet
invent that. The Lucky Charms cocktail.
Like maybe soak vodka with Lucky Charms and then strain it.
Ooh, this is getting good.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what?
Let's do that.
I'll try it at home and I'll report back on Lucky Charms and vodka.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right.
Teachable
moments.
All right, so my teachable moment this week is check the weather where you are going to be going when you are traveling, and check it before you leave. I just packed a hoodie as a jacket because in Maine it was still kind of springtime, summery, fall feel. And when I landed in St. Paul 2 days ago, it was freezing, literally about 30 degrees, and it was freaking snowing. And
buddy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I saw snow for the first time this year, and it was a very sad feeling that snow came before Halloween. But it was cold, so I wish I packed a heavier jacket. So yeah.
Yeah, check the weather app. Yeah, that's a really good teachable moment because lots of times I just pack my stuff and I get in the car and I go to the airport and I land and I get out and I look out and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in Chicago in January. Crap. So I have more coats that I've brought home than coats that I've left the house with because I had to stop and get an extra jacket on the road. So, yeah guys, check the weather app wherever you're going. It really can help you a lot.
Yeah, or it sucks if you're going, say you have a few shows in the South, and you're like, it's just going to be warm. And then you have that one show in Minnesota, and you're like, I don't need to bring a coat for that. That's fine. I can handle that. I can tough it out.
I tried to soldier it out one time. That story about being in Chicago is no joke. I went to Chicago in January, and I landed, and it was like 28 degrees, and it was super windy and just ice cold. And I think I was there for 3 days, and for the first 2 days, I tried to soldier it out thinking, look, I'm going to be on an airplane, then in an airport, then at the rental car, then in my rental car, and then in a hotel, and then at the school. Like, everywhere I'm going is indoors. I don't need to get a jacket. But those just, minute or two that you had to get out of the car to transition from one place to the other were just so bad that I ended up having to buy a jacket. And yeah, good advice, man. Good advice.
Well, thank you.
All right. Yeah, so my teachable moment, this is our Halloween, we talked about Halloween earlier, and I was thinking about Halloween, and my wife inspired this one because she did not know how to cut a jack-o'-lantern correctly, and I didn't want to correct her. You know, everybody should be having fun doing jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that, but Monday Club, I want you guys to be in the know of how to do a proper jack-o'-lantern. So, here we go, Gus's tips for doing a proper jack-o'-lantern. Tip 1, and this is very important, guys. Tip 1, when you cut the cap off the top of the jack-o'-lantern, when you cut the stem part so that you can reach your hand in there and get the guts out, and also that's where you put the candle in, make sure to cut it in at a diagonal. Don't go straight down with the knife. Cut it at a diagonal so that when you are putting the cap back on, it doesn't just fall directly into the pumpkin. It's got to have something that's gonna hold the cap up. So cut it at a diagonal. Then once you get the cap off, make sure to cut all the guts that are hanging out and all the meat that's there. Cut that so that you just have a thin cap for the top of your pumpkin, and that way it doesn't weigh down and try to squish into the pumpkin as it gets older and older. So that's your biggest step. Step 1 is that. Step 2.
I'm taking notes, by the way.
Yeah, good. Step 2. Make sure to scrape the insides as clean as possible. The cleaner it gets, the longer your pumpkin will last. I see a lot of people make this rookie mistake where they just get like the seeds and stuff out and then like, oh, let's go ahead and just call this pumpkin good. No, scrape it. Go over it 2 or 3 times. Make sure it is clean as possible. Step 3, if you want to save the seeds to roast them and eat them later, that's cool. I'm not a huge pumpkin seed fan, but I respect you if you are. Step 4, make sure to get some of those little tiny saws that come with little pumpkin carving kits. All of the rest of the stuff that comes in pumpkin carving kits aren't super helpful. Those little saws really are, because they can make a huge difference when you're cutting out eyes or if you're doing little small details. Those are really cool.
Do you do the paper thing where you put the paper on it and cut it out?
No, I've tried that, but I think that pumpkins get, as soon as you make that first cut, you get pumpkin juice that gets all over the paper and it makes it all nasty and gross. I usually just draw on it with washable markers and cut it out as best as I can, or just freehand it. If you're getting super creative and want to do an awesome pumpkin, maybe tacking on one of those pieces of paper would help, but I think old school is the best way to go, so just make a fun jack-o'-lantern. All right, here's my next tip. My next tip is this. Once you've cut the face out of the pumpkin, so you've cut whatever it is that you want, go back in and trim the inside, all the meat that's around those cuts that you made, trim that off and trim it back so that the wall is even thinner. That'll get more light to come through the openings of your pumpkin and make your pumpkin look brighter than if you just cut out just cut it out and don't do any of that trimming on the inside. All of that meat will block the light from coming through. So you want to have a really bright jack-o'-lantern, trim it up on the inside.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. I've never thought of that.
I got this.
That's a great one.
Okay, next one. And I did this for the first time this year, and I can't tell you how happy I am with the result. Take a little bit of bleach, take a little bit of water. I just poured bleach directly into the pumpkin and then poured some water directly into the pumpkin, took a rag and wiped all of the insides of the pumpkin off, wiped all of the holes that I cut into the pumpkin off, wiped the cap off with a mixture of bleach and water. It'll keep your pumpkin from rotting. So my pumpkins have been sitting outside for the last 4 days, outside in all kinds of different weather, not a single bit of rot inside the pumpkin. It is still holding itself together. All of the cuts haven't started sagging yet. It's the happiest I've ever been with my pumpkin. So bleach and water will keep it from rotting and save your pumpkin for a long time. And my last tip, ladies and gentlemen, is don't just get little tea tree lights. Those are crap. Get a battery-powered light that is super bright so that everyone can see your awesome pumpkin that you work so hard on for Halloween. You guys go out there and have a safe and happy Halloween.
Ditto. Happy Halloween, guys. Happy Monday. Raise a glass for us tonight. And that was Monday Club.
Happy Monday Club. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on Monday Club. Check us out at MondayClubPodcast.com, Facebook.com/Monday Club Podcast. We're on Twitter at Monday Club Pod, Instagram at Monday Club Podcast, and email us anything you want, MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much to James Caldwell, our sound engineer. You're amazing. Thanks to Zach Holder for our music. Wailing Wall of Willies. That might be the show title, I think.